And we are live.
There we go.
Good afternoon. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the City of Albany Industrial Development Agency. This is our full board meeting. Today is Thursday, October 22nd, and we are starting at about 12:18. We'll start today with a roll call of the board members. Tracy Metzger is not able to join us today. I'm Susan Petto. Darius Shanfar.
Here.
Lee Eck.
Here.
Dominic Calcelaro. I believe Dominic is
I'm here.
Great. Hi, Dominic. Bob Schofield.
Present.
And Lloyd Stewart.
Able.
Great. We will start with a discussion of the minutes of the meeting of September 17th. Since the minutes have previously been distributed, I call to waive the reading of the minutes and look for a motion to accept the minutes of the board meeting of September 17, 2020.
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Great. All in favor? Aye.
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 Motion is approved. We'll start with a report of the Chief Financial Officer.
Thanks, Susan. So in front of you is the September cash position for the IDA. There was no closings in the month of September. We did receive some modification revenue of $1,500. The only revenue received else was for interest income. The expenses you see listed there were either approved by the board in the 2020 budget or approved during 2020 as items came up. Just a note, as we noted in the Finance Committee meeting, New Scotland Village was pushed to 2021 at this time, so they're no longer in the projection. So with that, we are projecting ending cash at the end of the year to be approximately almost $2.6 million.
Great, thank you, Mark. Any other questions or comments on the financial report? Okay, if none, we will move to unfinished business, and we will begin with Broadway 915 LLC. Andy, do you have a project synopsis for us?
Sure, thank you, Susan. I'll briefly go through a project summary. I'll note that this project has been thoroughly vetted through the Finance Committee. There was a public hearing as well. These resolutions in front of us today have been moved forward from the committee with a recommendation for a positive recommendation. The proposed project is a approximately $22.7 million new construction project proposing to construct a 5-story residential apartment structure containing approximately 80 market rate apartment units and approximately 6,000 square feet of tenant amenity space in addition to a leasing office on the ground floor. The 1.4 acre project site, which is currently a parking lot, will also include approximately 90 off-street parking spaces. I will note that the project applicant is in attendance today, should anyone have any questions about this project whatsoever. And I'll turn it back over to you, Susan.
Okay. Any questions on Broadway 915? The overall project has been discussed a number of times, and we should be ready to move forward then with the 4 resolutions that are listed on the agenda. If no questions, then we'll begin with the seeker resolution. This is a resolution concerning in the determination by the City of Albany Planning Board as lead agency for the environmental review of the Broadway 915 LLC project. Do we have a motion? Lee, thank you. Second?
Yep, I'll second.
Thank you, Dominic. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. We will move on then to the commercial retail findings resolution. This is a resolution determining that the proposed Broadway 915 LLC project is a commercial project and making certain findings required under the general municipal law. Do we have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make it, Dominic.
Dominic, second. Lee, all in favor?
Aye.
The motion is carried. We will then move to the pilot deviation resolution. This is a resolution authorizing a deviation from the agency's uniform tax exemption policy in connection with a proposed payment in lieu of tax agreement to be entered into by the agency in connection with the proposed project for Broadway 915 LLC. Do we have a motion?
So move it. I'll
Darius?
second.
Second,
No,
Dominic?
I'll second it. Yep.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Sarah or Bob, did you have a comment or additional information on that resolution?
I'm muted, sorry. Just a note on that as the board is voting, I was wondering why I wasn't piping in. We're looking at the approval of a deviation from our standard uniform tax exemption policy. It is noted in the materials as well as in the previous finance committee and board meetings that this was discussed at the cost benefit analysis that was performed on the project, the benefits that the project was bringing to the community, as well as its analysis through the project evaluation and assistance framework that would merit a deviation from our UTEP.
Thank you, Sarah. Any questions about that pilot deviation? Okay. Then we'll move on to the final resolution, which is the approving resolution for Broadway 915. This is a resolution executing documents in connection with a leaseback transaction for the project for Broadway 915. Do we have a motion, please?
So moved.
So,
Lloyd, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Darius, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Sarah or Bob, did you have any additional comments on the uniform criteria or anything else pertaining to 915? And thank you again to the staff for all your hard work on this.
Sarah did such an eloquent job that I didn't have to do it this time. It was wonderful.
Feel free to gush about the project, though. It's an exciting project that's providing a really productive fill-in of gap space right now that's going to help connect to two different commercial districts and provide a lot of feet on the street to support those districts.
We probably, could gush about all of our projects, but let's extra gush about this one.
Go ahead, Bob, bring it.
No, I just think, look, I had the pleasure of emceeing a presentation that the mayor made to the chamber last week, and it was not lost on me or the members of the audience about how much of what she talked about is what this board has accomplished. And so that's the overall comment. Let's just keep doing what we need to do to light a spark in redeveloping the downtown and the warehouse district and all the other neighborhoods in Albany that need it.
Thanks, Bob. And thanks again to staff. That was really great work on that project.
Susan, I don't know if this is appropriate. I just want to thank everybody. It's Mark Aronowitz, one of the managing members of Broadway 915. Just wanted to thank everybody, especially Andy and Sarah and Tom, for their help in navigating through this process. And we look forward to delivering a quality project to the city of Albany. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for your investment.
You're welcome.
A lot of extra effort during these challenging times. So good work, everybody.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye, Mark. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all we have listed for unfinished business for today. If there's no other comments or questions, we will move right along to new business. We will begin with Columbia 455 Harriman LLC. This is a resolution authorizing the execution by the City of Albany Industrial Development Agency of a certain mortgage and related documents in connection with the Columbia Harriman 455 LLC project. And if we can take a motion to put that on the floor, we can have discussion on that. Motion, please.
So moved.
Thank you, Darius.
I'll second. Apparently I got to
Thank
put my
you,
mic on.
Okay. Well, we can enter into discussion about this project before we take the final vote then. Yes, Bob?
Susan, I think this project predates me on the IDA board, and I'm pretty familiar. I think I'm familiar with which building it is, but which exact building is it in Patroon Creek? If somebody wouldn't mind, just.
I can tell you the address is 455 Patroon Boulevard, if that helps.
One of the office buildings. It's not.
It's a medical office building, correct?
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Fair enough. Sorry about that. I didn't recognize it in things that I recall being involved in, but I looked at the date and I think it was right before I came on.
Deb,
Bob, you're
are
spot
you
on.
on as well? Deb, are you with us? Hi, Deb.
Hi, yes, the plastic surgery group is one of the, probably the biggest tenant, the one that you would see with the signage. It's right next to it's near the Alexander. It's in that group of buildings, but it's the plastic surgery group. Mesler Structural is in there.
So it's the twin building to the now KeyBank building, Deborah?
Nope, KeyBank is a different building.
Oh, but
KeyBank is a standalone building.
Aren't they? They look very similar to each other, these two buildings?
They look very similar to each other, yes.
Okay, thank you.
If I'm correct, this one's closer to the street, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Thanks, Deb. Any other questions
Oh, you're
for
welcome.
Deb or Andy about this project?
This is just a simple refinancing resolution, correct?
Correct. Just to note exactly, this is administrative in nature. No new assistance is being requested at this time. Strictly, the request at hand is for the agency to consent to a refinance.
All right, if no further questions, the resolution has been read and is on the table with a second. We can call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nope. I'm a yes. I was on.
Okay. Thank you, Dominic. So that makes it unanimous and the motion passes. We'll move
Great, thank
then
you.
to Morris Place. Thanks, Deb. This is a resolution authorizing the execution by the City of Albany Industrial Development Agency of a certain First Amendment to payment in lieu of tax agreement and related documents in connection with the Morris Place LLC project. We'll take a motion to put this on the table.
So move.
Lloyd, second.
I'll second. Darius.
Thank you, Darius. Okay, the motion is on the table. And Andy, could you update us on this?
Actually, before Andy goes, this is a project that I previously recused myself on because our firm was involved, I believe, in the land use approvals. I don't know that I need to go into a waiting room, but I'm just not taking part in any of the discussion.
Joe? You opine on that, please?
Yeah, agreed. And so noted. We'll have the minutes reflect that you didn't participate in the original transaction. You're not participating in this transaction, and we'll mark you as recused on the resolution sheet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob and Joe. Andy, can you update us on this?
Sure. This project closed with the agency in May of 2019. It was a $5.3 million new construction project. This was an infill project in Park South. Part of the project was demolition of a long blighted targeted property that was identified within the Park South plan, and the construction of approximately 40,000 square foot, 28 unit market rate apartment complex. Due to where the project was at in construction and the timing of the COVID-19 pandemic, there were delays, significant delays in construction. The project beneficiary is requesting that the commencement of the pilot be slid forward 1 year from 2020 to 2021. Of note, we've seen a couple of these. There was not a need in conferring with council. There was not a need for a public hearing. The additional benefits being that could potentially be awarded to the project beneficiary are significantly less than the $100,000 threshold that would require a public hearing. It's approximately $38,000. I'm not sure if the project beneficiary is in the room, Sema, but if not, I can try to answer any other questions that everybody may have.
Thank you, Andy. Any questions on this resolution? Any comments by the applicant?
There's something real quick.
Just wondering if this is the process I need to.
Okay. If none, we have the motion on the table and it has been seconded. We can take a vote on that at this point in time. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? No one, and we have Bob as a recusal. The motion carries. Thank you. With that, we can move into the project that has taken up so much of our staff's good efforts over the last couple of weeks and months. We really appreciate all your good work on the Small Business Adaptation Program. If we could have a motion to put this resolution on the table, please.
So moved.
Darius, second, please.
Second?
Lee, with that, Sarah, we'd love to hear more on where we're at with this right now, and looking forward to all the benefits of your good work.
We are very excited about this and very grateful to the board and the finance committee that that moved this resolution forward with a positive recommendation. We did a pretty in-depth presentation at last week's finance committee meeting, and so if you have not been able to see that to date, anyone who's watching this meeting, it is on YouTube. You can go through and really see the outline of the evolution of the project or the program over time, as well as the results that are there. But I can go through a little bit of the overview of the results to date, just because they are so exciting, and so why not talk about it some more. We did have a total of 62 applications that were completed for preliminary review. That was for both funding sources. As you recall, this was both the Industrial Development Agency funding as well as Community Development Block Grant funding related to coronavirus that came through the city's Community Development Agency. In terms of the IDA, 51 of those applicants made requests for PPE related activities pursuant to the legislation that was passed over the summer, allowing industrial development agencies to make grants for PPE purchases. We had a total request of just over 138,000 from that program. Based on the eligible activities and what you have in front of you today, the board or the finance committee's review, we are recommending the award of 114,000, just about 115,000. You'll see it in your resolution. It's 114,983. Up to that amount that we would be looking to reimburse small businesses throughout the city of Albany for PPE expenditures directly related to the COVID-19 pandemic. Some exciting news coming out of those particular requests to the IDA. 34 of those applicants were disadvantaged business enterprises, and that is minority, women, and veteran-owned businesses. That comes out to, with the 48 awards that we have in front of us today, 71% of the awards would be going to disadvantaged business enterprises, and the number is actually higher when you look at the total dollar amount that would be going toward those DBEs. We also have more than 70% of the applicants in our neighborhood strategy areas throughout the city, with a pretty solid geographic coverage citywide. We'll also, in addition to the action that's in front of the board today, we will be taking similar action on the CDBG side of the equation as well. And overall, with that full program, we will be looking at more than $500,000 worth of awards to small businesses throughout the city of Albany. Again, in the 70% on disadvantaged business enterprise awards, as well as NSAs. We could not be more excited about this program. We do have a handful of nonprofits that are requesting as well, that are providing direct benefit to the community related to this impact. So the work that staff has done has been just monumental on this to be able to move as quickly, but also to this board of directors being able to jump on that legislation immediately, know that that there was an opportunity to assist small businesses and get right in there has been incredible. To that end, we do have a structure in place where we have all of the documentation in line and organized appropriately. That documentation will be maintained on file for the Industrial Development Agency. We'll also be monitoring and providing all of that information to the IDA as well. So administration will be ongoing. The term of the program is over the next year, so closeout would be October of next year.
Great. Thank you so much, Sarah. This means so much to so many small businesses. I'm sure we've all spoken to managers and employees around the city that are benefiting from this program. Any other comments or questions about this grant agreement? Yeah, Bob.
So I guess I'm happy to share that at the Chamber Board Executive Committee meeting earlier in the week, one of the things we were talking about is the Chamber's role in addressing some of the needs of small business, and this program got brought up as a good example of how public entities can chime in and what the Chamber ought to be doing to kind of support those efforts. But people were aware of it and very, very congratulatory and appreciative of it. Obviously, I told them that it would be soon, that there'd be big announcements, but people were aware of it and tuned into the fact that it was coming, which was great.
Great, thank you. Any other comments? If not,
Dominic.
Yeah,
I just want to again thank the staff for the time and effort that they put in for this, and for such a short amount of time. I know it really was a huge effort, and I really appreciate it. And I'm sure I know the businesses do, and I think, as I said, the Finance Committee, it helps us to show that, given the legal authority, that we can help existing small businesses with grants, as long as it's the state, gives us the authority to do that. And as you all know, small businesses are really the backbone for any municipality to keep going and advancing and show itself. So, but I really want to appreciate the work that the staff did on this.
thank you, Dominic.
I've said a number of times how impressed I am about this program coming in at the tail end of it. But I think with small business and what that means to particularly the minority community, it has a lot to do with helping to develop not only the businesses, but the technical expertise that's necessary in those communities to be able to on their own look and develop new options, so that it's not always, hopefully in the future, if this opportunity presents itself again, that there'll be more of the $10,000 or more requests that are being made, and maybe even joint kinds of requests. And it's a perfect opportunity for the community to come together and be able to focus and target certain areas and services that are necessary in the communities, to be able to expand the expertise and the abilities of these small businesses. And I'm just very impressed with both the program and the amount of work that's been put into it. And I think that'll be the last time I said, I need to put that on a recording, so that every time this program comes up, I can push the button. But I am very impressed with it.
I appreciate it.
Kudos to the staff.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lloyd. Any other comments? Okay, then we've got a resolution authorizing the execution and delivery of grant agreements with certain applicants pursuant to the City of Albany COVID-19 Small Business Adaptation Program. We have the motion on the table. It's been seconded. I will call for a vote on the grant agreement approval resolution PPE projects. All in favor?
Aye, aye.
Any opposition? The motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much to everybody for all your good work on that. All right. We will move to the budget approval resolution. And this is a resolution approving the 2021 budget of the City of Albany Industrial Development Agency. If we could call for a motion to put this on the table and a second, then we will have discussion. Motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Darius. Second.
Second?
Thank you, Lee. Mark, do you want to lead this discussion, please?
Sure, Susan. So in front of you is the proposed 2021 budget. As I just want to note that this was discussed at the Finance Committee in September. It was moved at that point to the board pending any changes. There's only really one amendment to the budget, and that came out of the audit committee, that the audit fees did raise by $200 from $7,000 to $7,200 for 2021. All the other changes stayed the same, and I just want to make a note that this was posted up at City Hall for public inspection. And to date, we have received no comments on this budget. So with that, this budget does reflect the deficit budget of approximately $200,000, and ending cash to be approximately $2.38 million, and that represents 2.61 years of operating expenses.
Mark, I'd like to point out that the deficit reflects a number of professional service studies that the board has committed to undertake next year related to market analysis, fiscal impact analysis, looking at our project evaluation and assistance framework. So those were strategic investments that the board has asked to make that would tap into the agency's resources to be able to perform.
Sarah and Mark, that's reflected in the strategic activities line?
Correct, Robert.
I may be missing something, guys, and I apologize if I am. On the memo, you are targeting about a $208,000 deficit, but on the proposed budget, it only appears to be $199,382.
It is $199,382. That was the budget in September. The interest was changed to reflect the current interest rate, Bob. So that did change it. So I will change that to $199,382 and repost it on the website.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm happy to see that we're maintaining those commitments to the things that we've talked about. So it makes sense to me, and nice work by staff. Thank you.
Okay, great. If there's no other comments or questions, then we are ready to vote on the City of Albany Industrial Development Agency 2021 budget approval resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? If not, the motion is unanimously carried. And we will move on to the final resolution, the approval of our accounting firm for 2020. The audit committee met last week to review Teal Becker Tremonti's proposal for our next audit. Katie Duran will continue to be our managing partner. The details concerning the proposal are contained in the transmittal letter that is in your packet. There is a slight increase in the fee. I think it's about 3% to $7,200 after many, many years of maintaining our fee at a flat rate. The work will commence shortly with field work that usually culminates in October or in November and December, with a very busy month for the Teal Becker Tremonti staffers and Bob to pull that information together so that we can have a timely presentation by the March 31st deadline. Bob, did you want to add any additional comment on this?
No.
Do you mean Mark? Maybe
Mark, yeah.
I really like TBC.
Feel free to join the audit committee.
Actually, no, Oh, go ahead,
Yeah.
Sarah.
I do want to just chime in based on the they really like TBC comment. You know, one of the things that we do like to discuss, and we discussed at audit committee as well, is the institutional knowledge brought by retaining a firm that is familiar with the organization, with its transactions, as well as being incredibly well versed in their trade. So their performance to date has been excellent, as documented by both the audit committee and the board in years past, and we're looking forward to bringing the benefits of that institutional knowledge to bear as they undertake next year's audit as well.
Thank you, Sarah.
Just assumed Susan was making some comment that I had to speak on everything, and now I'm going to have a complex.
Now you did.
I'm the new Darius.
The only thing I want to add is last year Teal Becker did perform our bond confirmations for both the IDA and the CRC, and they will continue to do that with the 2021 or with the 2020 audit.
And for those of you who were not in the audit committee meeting, please feel free, if you want to speak to any of the auditors, to reach out to them directly. I will ask staff to please distribute the contact information to all of the members of the board, and feel free to reach out to Katie Duran and her team at Teal Becker Tremonti with any questions, concerns, or additional facts that might be useful as they conduct this audit. Any other comments or questions? I think we still need a motion and to get this motion officially on the table. This is the City of Albany Industrial Development Agency approval resolution for the selection of accountants for FY 2020 audit. The resolution is approving the retaining of an accounting firm for conducting the 2020 FY audit of the City of Albany Industrial Development Agency. Do we have a motion?
Maybe Bob should motion that. I'll second.
I'd be happy to make that motion.
Bob, second. Lee, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? If none, then the motion carries unanimously. Any other new business to discuss? If not, we can move on to other business. Do we have any agency updates, Sarah?
No official agency update or compliance update. I did just want to note that as of today, Lloyd has officially finished out his first month of service with the Industrial Development Agency with a really groundbreaking grant program for the organization, reviewing 9 separate resolutions that were passed today, and also spending about an hour and a half on a call with us this week, going through his IDA 101 intro with Tony Gotti as well. So welcome and thank you. I just want to make sure we're noting 1 month in.
Plus, yeah, it's interesting. 1 month in, and today I got sworn in, so that works out pretty well.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lloyd. We really needed you. Glad you're here.
We'll see.
All right. No compliance updates either. Okay, great. Then we will call for a motion to adjourn this meeting at, the time is 12:55.
So moved.
Darius, second.
Second.
I'll second.
Oh, sorry, Dom.
Dominic, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.